Hello everybody, thank you for listening in and hearing about living on campus at Wagner College, a guide to new student housing. My name is Thomas Gielach and I am the Assistant Director for the Office of Residential Education here at Wagner, and welcome to Wagner in our community. We look forward to seeing you this upcoming August. This presentation is going to take a little bit of your time, but just look at some of the items that would be important for new students to know regarding living on campus. We'll talk a little bit about first year student housing, an overview of our transfer student housing program, some options that our graduate students will have who are new to Wagner, and then we'll follow up with some medical housing accommodations, safety and security, rates and application information, and how to apply for housing. So I'm going to begin this little presentation with our first year student housing information. First year student housing is that all of our first year students, our traditional first year students, those who just graduated from high school, those beginning their college journey, will live in Harborview Hall. Harborview Hall is a 14-story residence hall, and floors 3 through 14 are for our first year students. So all of our first years live together. All of the students are placed in double rooms with one roommate. In the building is air conditioned and there's communal bathrooms. So that means about 20 students to a bathroom, and the building has an elevator that runs to all floors. In addition to our first year experience program, our building sponsors FirstYear, F-Y-R-E, which stands for First Year Residential Experience. And with that, we have certain communities that are theme communities. So students that are interested in a theme community are those who are interested in one of our few kind of categories that we have. So we have, for this coming year, we have our quiet and substance-free living, which is going to be on the 13th floor of Harborview. This floor is for students of all years, but we have reserved space for first year students who are interested in living in an environment that is quiet 24/7 and substance-free. So this would also include there's no alcohol present on the floor regardless of being of age or not, and that would also mean tobacco-free. We also have our honors floor, which will be on the 6th floor. So students that have been accepted into the college's honors program get an opportunity to live together. Then we have a civic engagement floor for students that are interested in leadership and civic engagement. If any of you listening are Bonner students, or if any parents or guardians listening have students that are coming in that are in the Bonner leadership program, we strongly advise that they participate in this floor. And then finally, we have our arts and visual culture floor for students who are interested in all things arts and visual culture. This, in order to be considered for a theme community, all the students have to do on their housing application is apply. It's a pretty quick application. They click a box and then they write a short little paragraph about why they want to be involved. If your student or a student is not interested in this, we do not require that they be part of a theme community. They still would be placed in Harborview with a bunch of students who are also in the first year program. Switching gears to our transfer student housing, we do have transfer student housing available on 2 floors of Towers Hall. So what we've designed is that every other room will be students who have already been at Wagner for at least one semester. So this way the transfer students are integrated with upper class students and not put by themselves, but they get the opportunity to live with upper class students. We recognize that a first year student and a transfer student have different needs and a different assimilation to college. So we do put them in Towers Hall, and that is double rooms, so 2 to a room, and a communal bathroom that is cleaned routinely by our housekeeping staff. And if they're interested, we do have a theme community. We have a gender inclusive community, which is students living together and sharing a communal bath regardless of gender, gender identity, or gender expression. If they're interested, they should just email me with my email there, and my information will be found at the end as well. So we also offer graduate student housing, and thank you to one of our staff members, Andres, who allowed us to use his picture, who is one of our current graduate students. Our graduate student housing is located on the 1st and 2nd floor of Harborview Hall. Normally for the 1st floor, those graduates who have been accepted and hired as graduate assistants in athletics will be placed on the 1st floor, and the 2nd floor will serve as home to all of our other graduate students. There also is limited space in Guild Hall, which is suite style living. So there's 2 double rooms interconnected by a private bath. Those are based on availability and first come, first serve. So if you are interested, I ask that you reach out as soon as possible. There is summer housing available for graduate students pending program need. So for example, our physician's assistants program, because most of them do begin in August, they're able to come and live on campus earlier. Graduate students also include our second degree nursing students. And in addition, graduate students can request a single in Towers Hall, which is one of our upper class residence halls, on availability. So I'd like to take some time to go through the medical housing accommodations process for those who may need medical housing accommodations. The college aims to provide all students with a productive academic environment, and we recognize that some individuals will need specific housing arrangements made. So if a student is interested in a medical accommodation, all they have to do is go online, and if you search disability services in the Wagner search box in the upper right-hand corner of the Wagner website, you will see it pulls you right to the medical housing accommodations page. What you'll have to do is the student should submit the medical housing accommodation request form, which is a series of questions where the student should identify why they need the accommodation and what they would gain from getting the accommodation. And then they will also need a licensed medical professional to complete the required documentation. That's also on that website off the Disability Services page. And that documentation must be submitted as soon as possible. If we have a request from the student but do not have the documentation from the licensed medical professional, we cannot process the application. Priority deadline for medical accommodations is June 15th. So this is important to note because we want to make sure that everybody with medical accommodations find out before roommate assignments go out in the middle of July. Finally, if you are new to Wagner, we encourage you to begin to take some opportunities to work with some of our offices on campus. So that would be our Disability Services office, and you specifically work with Dina Asanti, or representatives from Health and Wellness. Depending on the accommodation, one of the offices might be more beneficial to work with. So I would encourage you to schedule appointments with them as soon as possible because they are great resources to help you, not just in housing, but also in your academic accommodations you may need. So a little bit about rates and application information. So the 2016-2017 housing rates are $4,030 a semester. This is recorded on April 7th, so I haven't had my finalized rates sent out yet, but all of the rates are subject to a 2 to 4% increase for the 2017-2018 academic year. So you can make sure to check the business offices page. I've included that link, so you can type it into the bar or just search Wagner College Business Office, and you'll be able to see those rates quite easily. So for a student to apply, the application for housing is honestly very, very simple. Once a student is accepted into Wagner and confirms their acceptance, they're going to get a Wagner All Access. So it'll be their first name, period, then their last name at wagner.edu, and they'll set up their Wagner All Access password. This is how they'll get onto the My Wagner, which is an academic portal, and they'll also get into their email account. So in order to apply for housing, they use that same information that they use to get into their email to log into the housing site. And you see it right here. Housing.wagner.edu is the website that you will need to make sure you tell your students to fill out. The application takes about only 5 to 10 minutes. They'll fill out, their name, and then they're also going to fill out some roommate preference stuff. When do they go to bed? How clean do they keep their room? All of that kind of stuff. And finally, students will select their meal plan during the process. They don't need to feel pressured to pick a meal plan, and if they're nervous, I don't know which one's the best for me, we do let students pick a meal plan, and then they can change it during the first week of the semester. For all of our new students, so our new transfer students and our new first year students, we have 2 meal plan options, which is 19 meals a week, and then we have another one, which is 14 meals a week. 19 meals a week comes with 50 flexi dollars, so consider that like a dwindling debit card where you can use it to grab a coffee quick in between meals, or you want a late night snack. Then we have meals that are 14 meals a week, and that comes with $125 flexi. So it's less meal swipes as you'd have in the dining hall, but it's more money to use at any of our late night service options. Important dates and move-in information. Some of the most important stuff that I know everybody's nervous about getting ready for, dropping your student off at Wagner. New students should apply for housing by noon on Monday, July 10th. This is really important. If they don't apply by Monday, July 10th, they might not get to put in a roommate preference, or they won't get their roommate assignments. Housing assignments and roommate assignments will be sent to the student's wagner.edu email account on Friday, July 14th. So as long as the student gets it in, then they will get their assignments. Very important thing is this date right here. I know everybody's wondering about it. New student move-in is Thursday, August 24th, 2017. Our move-in process is staggered by floor based on where a student is assigned to live. So when the student gets their email that says, hi, John Doe, you're living in, Harborview 1112, we'll then tell them about check-in time. All of the check-in times will occur in the morning. So everybody should be here really before 12, 1 o'clock the latest. So don't worry about, figuring out your room plans. And if there are any issues, please feel free to reach out to our office. We are happy to help you out. So that kind of sums up our mini presentation. This was just to give people an opportunity to hear it and then to think about what questions they might have before contacting our office. If you have any questions, resed@wagner.edu is a great way to get in contact with us, or give us a call. We are the central office. Ange Conception is the director of residential education, and Letty Romero is our administrative assistant, and then there's me, Thomas Keelock, the assistant director. One of the three of us are here every day at minimum, so any of us are happy to take your call or help you out as you get ready to come to Wagner. Again, we look forward to seeing you on Thursday, August 24th, and on behalf of the Wagner College's Office of Residential Education, we welcome you to the Wagner community.